Hital, you can reclaim the host for recording. Huh? I connected the live stream.
Yeah, sure, Bhaiya.
And you can spotlight Bhavana and Jayanti ji. I think Jayanti ji has joined. She has joined. Vanakkam ma, Jayanti madam.
Namaste ji. Can you make me co-host?
Hital, make okay. I will make Jayanti ji as co-host. We should.
Yes, Bhaiya.
Can we start?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bhavana
right.
is made. Bhavana is made as the co-host. I'm making her okay. Bhavana as co-host. Sheetal, I'll just make you back the host. Okay, then
Okay, thank you, Bhaiya.
Namaste ji.
you can
Namaste.
start the recording. Bhavana can start.
Hari Om Namaste. Good evening to everybody. Welcome you all to the Yoga Shakti Sangama 2024 on account of International Day of Yoga 2024 organized by Indian Yoga Association Karnataka, that we are calling it as Kriya. So today, this is dedicated for the theme of the year, that is Yoga for Women Empowerment. So in this regard, IYE of Karnataka thought like, let's do something for women. And that is when this initiative of Yoga Shakti Sangama came up. So as part of this 32 days, 64 sessions of webinar, 64 yoginis, 64 resource persons. So a lot of things to learn, a lot of things to hear from many resource persons, many experts. So welcome you all to this episode today. So let us start the event with reciting 3 times Omkara together. Let us sit straight. Come to Namaskara position. Close your eyes gently. Let there be a gentle smile on the face. Take a deep breath and we'll do Omkara 3 times. Om. 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 Rub your palms, generate heat, pass the heat to the eyes, ears, cheeks, neck. With a few blinks, let's open our eyes, look into your palms, temple your eyes, and then look elsewhere. Okay, so with this, I think it's now the time to invite the guest of the day, Dr. Jayanti ji. Welcome you to the show, ma'am. Let me just...
Namaste, ma'am. Namaste, ma'am. Namaste, Sububaya.
Namaste, and welcome you to the show. So today's topic that Jayanti ji is going to help us on is about Yogasana as a sport, right? So we all know about Yogasana, and but it's maybe sometimes we haven't thought about it like it can be a sport and more. So Madam is going to help us about Yogasana as a sport, career opportunities as judges and juries. So before we start, I think I'll take this opportunity, and it's my privilege to introduce to you all Dr. Jayanti ji. She's the founder of Manushi Yoga Research Foundation, Secretary of Yogic Early Education Service Trust, Secretary of International Tamil Wedge Union, ITVU, and Council Member for International Wedge Union, IVU London. That's for the Executive Committee. Member International Mudaliar Pillai Marai Association, IMPA. Advisory Board Member, the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, PCRM, from Washington, D.C. She's a member, International Association of Yoga Therapists, USA, facilitator, Manushi School of Yoga, editor for Manushi Yoga e-magazine. It's definitely our privilege and pleasure to have such a resourceful person and such an eminent person with us to educate and guide us on the topic of the day. Ma'am, welcome to the show, and we are eagerly waiting to hear from you. The stage is all yours.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Happy to hear from you. Happy evening to everybody. I saw Sububaya. Thank you. Thank you for the fine opportunity. Thank you. First, let us do the prayer. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Para Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sarve Bhavantu Suginaha, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kachid Dukha Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Good evening, dear divine brothers and sisters. Good evening. It gives immense pleasure to meet you all in this fine evening. Today we are going to discuss about Yogasana as a sports. We have seen yoga philosophy. We have seen about how yoga we have to attain blissful state. And this is a very different concept. So where this concept could have been arrived from? So we have to go back to the history of yoga, where in Vedic period, pre-classical, classical and post-classical. In Vedic period, if we see, we were worshipping Lord Shiva. We were worshipping with the nature only. Okay, there we were all very happy, enjoying our living, and we were all jumping here and there. And it was a soulful living over there, like Devi, Devata, we were living and we were enjoying our living. Slowly, we degraded to some level, and we have Upanishads, Brahmanas, Kriya'S, two great epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Puranas, two great Agamas and Puranas, Buddhism and Jainism. Slowly, when Buddhism and Jainism came, it was disciplining us. We didn't like to discipline ourselves. So next we went to the third, the classical. Classical is of Patanjali Maharishi, as all of you know. And from there, Patanjali Maharishi gave us how Stiram Sugam Asanam only. He didn't mention about how many postures you have to do, how many pranayamas, mudras, bandhas, nothing was not there. Okay, he just gave asana to maintain your body to have stillness. Stiram Sugam Asanam, that's all. Okay, how we can do? By the loosening effort. He said that only. He didn't say you practice this asana, that asana, like that. He didn't give anything. Next, so we didn't like that also, because it was mind also became very weak. And next we shifted to post-classical, that is Tantra Yoga. Tantra Yoga is walking on the knife edge. And then we shifted to say called Hatha Yoga. Okay, from Hatha Yoga only we are come. So first of all, I want to say to you that Yogasana first posture is Lord Nataraja. We are seeing the Ananda Tandava. How this Ananda Tandava came? So we are going to see about the Ananda. I come from a place called Chidambaram, where Chit means consciousness. Where Chit means consciousness, Ambaram means Akash. Of all the five elements, Akash is the highest. We collect all the things from the Akashic records. So this is the beautiful place, magnetic center of the world. And before this place, I want to say you a small story. All of you know about Taruka Vanam. So you all have to see that Taruka Vanam story. See, one day, Lord Vishnu was lying on Adisesha. That day he was very heavy, and but he was in ecstasy. So he asked, whom you are thinking of? Mahalakshmi, no, he said, I'm not thinking of Mahalakshmi, I'm thinking of the whole universe, who is having the whole universe, that is nothing but Lord Shiva. And he asked what you are thinking about, because there was a tarka between the devas, whether Vedas came from themselves or God, or like them, it was tarka. So I was taken away by Lord Shiva, and when we went as a Mogini and beautiful Sundara like that, when that controversy was going on, Lord Shiva started dancing, and from his paduka came the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, all the Vedas. From that, they came to understand it was from Lord Shiva. And that Ananda Tandava was shown to cool everybody. So that was the Ananda Tandava. He said, I also want to see the Tandava. And he said, you have to go and ask Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva. He went to Mount Kailash to ask Lord Shiva. At that time, Nandi didn't allow him. So he sang Patanjali Kritam. Patanjali Kritam means without horns and without legs, because they criticized him. Without horns and legs, you are going to go and sing. Like that, they criticized him. So when he sang that song, all of you please go and hear in the internet that 8 minutes song is there, Patanjali Kritam. Okay, Sarana Sringara Kritam. Okay, because without horns and legs, he has song, and with this beautiful poetic verses and singing, Lord Shiva gave him the blessings. You also go and join Vyakrapada, who is already meditating in Chidambaram. Chidambaratthirku sellada siddhargalum undu. All the siddhas like Jaimuni, everybody came. Vyakrapada, Patanjali Maharishi, Tirumular, Durvasa, like that, many siddhas came to Chidambaram. So they were too meditating for years together. They plucked the flowers because Vyakrapada had some lens in the leg like that and all, and they were meditating to see the Ananda Tandava of Lord Nataraja. Today also in Ani Thirumanjanam and Arudra Darasanam, 2 times you can experience a dance and to see that subtly all the siddhas like Patanjali, Vyakrapada, everybody come to see here. Okay, so here in this place, if you see, this is the beautiful temple, and this temple is an embodiment of yogic knowledge. Like it has 21,600 golden tiles packed with 72,000 nadis. All the 9 gates are closed. And this is the dance of Lord Nataraja. And it is a magnetic center of the world which has been placed. And it has been placed in CERN also. Okay, in Switzerland. So if you see this temple is an yogic teaching. Okay, so like that only we can say they use this temple as a teaching module, because when they said about Vedas, Upanishads, Sutras, nothing we were able to understand. At least learn by this teaching module, like that they built this temple and started teaching to us. Okay, so this is the golden roof, and this is the Chidambara Ragasya. This is the Chidambara Ragasya, where it is Shunya, nothingness. Okay, so this is the shrine of Lord Nataraja. Okay, so there was a tarka between the God and the goddess Parvati. So when the Lord took this Urdhava Tandava, he lifted his leg up, the goddess was not able to make, and she got angry and she went to the border called as Kali temple. Now also we go and worship over there. So this is called as the Urdhava Tandava. And all of you please type in the internet 108 Tandavas of Lord Shiva. So if you see, all the yoga poses are there. Whatever yoga poses today we are doing, it is there. From this only our tradition originated. Why I am elaborating this much, it's because today many people started arguing that yoga came from gymnastics. How can our tradition can be said like this? Okay, it should not be definitely said. That's why I have given a brief history, how the history of yoga came, and yogasana sports also arrived slowly like that. Okay, so and basically when we are coming to post-classical period, the Hatha Yoga text came. Machendranath Yogi gave the Kala Jnana Nirnaya. It is nothing but a dialogue. So we cannot consider it as a book. Then Gorakshnath gave Gorak Shataka, Chaurangi Shataka, Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Grandha Samhita, Hatha Ratnavalli, Amaranga, Amrita Siddhi, Hatha Ratnavalli, Hatha Abhyasa Padati, Yoga Pradipika, Kechari Vidya, Shiva Shamgita, Siddha Siddhanta Padati, Shiva Deepika, Vashishta Samgita, Yoga Chintamani, Yoga Shastra, Yoga Taravalli. These are our Hatha Yoga text, which we should not forget. Whenever you say any asana, take from this text and then point out. Don't say, this is aeroplane pose, this is frog pose, like that. Say Mandukasana. Like that, we have to say. Don't use any foreign names or any names, Western names like that. Say our traditional names. That is my kind suggestion to you all. Next. So, from this, after when Britishers came to India, we didn't practice because it was our daily routine practice. It is all saints are scientists, but all scientists are not saints. So we all practiced in our day-to-day life. It is a practical way of living. So when we practiced, after that we had a little bit gap. We didn't go into that much like that, and it was carried by few people who left their life, who lived their life, who didn't get any respect, who didn't get any money for their coaching or anything like that and all. Okay, and until Yoga Day was there, thanks to Yoga Day celebrations and all, now yoga has come into the limelight because I am starting from 1995. From 1998, I started in Annamala University. At that time, to counsel one person, we 10 people will sit. Nowadays, everybody is, that's why I think we are all into the deep yogic way like that and all. We think because we came from the roots, how difficult it was to explain yoga to anybody like that. But today, everybody knows yoga. To say or promote about yoga is very easy. But when you go back to 70s, 80s, it was very, very difficult task. And it was survival. The yoga people's survival is very, very difficult. Okay. Hats off to our rishis, siddhas, and all the persons who took yoga to this level. So, what is the need and necessity of yogasana as a sport? Because there are many sports. If you go to the Olympics and see the list of sports, there are many, many small games in the Olympics. But everybody is practicing our yoga, and it was not patent rated by Indians, but it was patent rated by US. And after that sleeping, we went there and we fought, and now we said no patent right like that and all. Okay, now only we are saying about yogasana as a sport. What's the need? There was many fights why yogasana as a sport should come like that and all. See, all the yogasana athletes are going into gymnastics to compete, because they need some sports quota or something and all. So for that purpose only, this yogasana as a sports has evaluated to make fitness. Because when there is competition only, we will practice. If there is no competition, we will not practice at all. So why I came into this field? Because I took my daughter in 2005 for SGF5 like that. And I saw, because there was no proper judgment, not proper thing, because the system was not, there was no technical lagging was there like that and all. At that time, I was thinking we have to bring it. And I went to Ramakrishna Mission. Swamiji said, you bring it as a certificate course. And in Swami Ramakrishna Mission, Vivekananda University, first we 30 people studied, and we made it as a coaches program. At that time, I didn't know how this should be given like that. After many days, I got a call for an NYSF like that. And so I accepted and I went. My basic intention is how to contribute for yogasana sports. This was the basic intention. And the first competition of Kelo India was held in Bangalore. And literally, when that is the history, of yoga coming into Kelo India like that. Literally, my eyes was filled with tears. That is of happiness, like that we can say. And it was very wonderful to see yogasana coming into the Kelo India, and our children are benefited. So in a competition, now it is in a structured way we are able to organize. Okay, what is the main objective of this? Health and fitness, because we already need it. Mental wellness, encourage discipline and perseverance, inner peace and mindfulness, because today's our children are future citizens. What happens now? We are suffering from diabetes, BP, obesity like that. And we don't have proper grounds and proper infrastructure for other sports. But yogasana, only a mat is needed and only a flexible mind is needed. Flexibility is there in the mind, not in the body. Okay. So here it is fostering community cultural awareness, standardized yoga practices, and it provides a platform for all talents. So our president is Dr. Udit Seth from Gujarat, and Dr. Secretary General is Dr. Jaydeep Aryaji, and this is our judges team in Chennai, Kelo, India. We hosted, and it was conducted in Dr. Rajaratnam Stadium in Chepak in the month of January. So this is the size, the general body, executive council, technical committee, competition director, organizing committee. This is a structure. So our president, he is our authority, and he is very spirit, and he has a big, huge aim how to bring it like that. And if you see our secretary general, he is working for all the 24 hours to bring yoga into international level and to bring it into Olympics. So it is very tough job to bring it, because Olympics means it is a separate village and separate language. So we need to have much more infrastructures and much more technical needs. So this is our easy executive body team. Sanjay Malpani ji and Rakesh Shastri ji, our treasurer Rachit Kaushik ji, like that. So this is our, I am the joint secretary. Thanks to the Yogasana Bharat team for appointing me. And there are different types of judges. Coming to the judges training, we had conducted first judges training in online, second at Sangama, and Patiala. We have conducted 2 judges training, and recently before a month we conducted the judges training. And different types of judges are there in Yogasana sports. That is the chief judge. Difficulty judge called the D judge, where he will be giving the marks for the Yogasana only. And artistic judge is the A judge for the costume, character, theme, rhythm, and all. They will be giving. Time judge, there will be most probably 2 time judge for the artistic, rhythmic, and all. And evaluator, because the what is the difficulty level like that they will be evaluating. We have A, B, C, D, E, and each category 5 asanas, 25 asanas is there. And so what is the A asana? A means it will 0.6 to 1 mark it will be given. So the evaluator will be seeing whether they are using A asana code or B asana code, like that they will be seeing. And scorer come announcer. So they will be monitoring the scores. And stage manager will be managing the entire thing. So now Yogasana sports is being included in national games. So we are very happy to say, even in our Tamil Nadu, athletes have got 5 lakhs for getting gold medal. And the second prize 3 lakhs, and third prize it is in group it differs, and or 2 lakhs, like that. Okay, so this is a hats off, and it gives immense happiness. So many of our present athletes also say we are not getting like that and all, but we are very happy when they get. We are also so happy. And Kelo India Youth Games and Kelo India University Games and Inter-University Games and Kelo India Women's League, that is called as Ashmita. We are celebrating women's in this IDY is empowering women in sports also is empowered. So that is called as Asmita, where only women are participating from 10 years to 55 years. There is no age limit like that. And they are all participating. It is a type of celebration to go and participate in a yoga competition. Is a type of celebrations. And many of our young athletes of 8 years will come and say, when you are going to start for men's competition, you are always doing for women's. So I am so proud that we are having that Ashmita, aspiring women in sports for yoga also. Okay, thanks to our Secretary General and President and all the team who have brought this Ashmita for yoga. And sub-junior, junior level competition, senior national competition 8 to 28 years, and masters is from 20 years to 55 years. And in School Games Federation, in SGFI, CBSE Games, Navodaya Championship, ICSE Board Games, NCRT, Police Games, and Central Employees Games. These are the areas in which Yogasana sports has been rooted very deeply. So initially we had only 5 events. That is traditional Yogasana events. It's like Hatha Yoga events. Here they will be standing for 30 seconds, 60 seconds, like that and all. But our judges say we get very sleepy. When it is artistic means dang, 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 one sound is there. Everybody is very aware and seeing and watching what is happening, what is happening, what is happening, like that. But in traditional A judge, E judge, everything, A, B, C, D, every judge you are putting and we are all getting sleepy. Like that and all, there is something, and we have to think how it can be very vibrant and very nice, like that. And artistic single, rhythmic pair, artistic group, these are some of the events. In pair means 2 people, single means 1, and group means we have 5. Okay. Now, from this year onwards, we are having 12 events. Okay, because our Secretary General saw swimming people and all having many medals. Our Yogasana people only having 1 or 2. Because earlier it was very difficult. One person is participating in all competitions, and all the competitions are standstill because of that person. Like that. So they had a thing that only 2 have to participate. One person has to participate only in 2 competition. After seeing swimming, many people are getting many medals. Now we have traditional Yogasana event as forward bend, backward bend, leg balance, twisting, hand balance, supine, and artistic Yogasana single. So these are the things. And pair events are rhythmic and artistic, and group events in traditional and artistic. So this is our coaches training program where we have done. See, we have to know when one game has to come very strongly. We all have to become good coaches, because we have to have the idea of science and also of our tradition. And nowadays, everybody learning only 10 asana, 5 asana, they are becoming a yoga teacher, yoga instructor, yoga demonstrator, and every school is taking them. There is no standard like that. Even they have studied MSc also. They have the science background. Science is lacking. Somebody is good at philosophy, somebody is good at science. But we have to have a blend of both. And we should know how to coach, where to coach, when to coach, like that and all. Because we are just bending, and many injuries have been developed. Okay, so how we have to use of the muscles, what are the possible movements in each and every joints, what is the physiology of that joint, like that we have to know. This is very, very important, and we have to go deeply into the training. So in Patiala, we are having biomechanics in training, and morning they practice themselves Surya Namaskar, what are the loosening Sukshma Vyayama and the loosening exercise, and then how we have to increase the load, how much frequency we have to give, how warm up, cool down, and then how we have to increase the endurance, like that, stamina, endurance, everything we have to work out. So this leads to the entire coaches training program. Okay, so here this coaches training program is being done every year once in Patiala, like that, and every state also does. So this is about Yogasana Bharat and Yogasana coaches training program. In judges training program also, we have a code of points book. In that code of points of book, we have given the complete structure, what you have to follow when you are as a judge. When you are e-judge, what you have to do. When you are t-judge, what you have to do, like that. And what are the rules and instructions of the coaches, rules and regulations for the judges, rules and regulations for the athletes. Because we are judges, coaches are focusing on the athletes. While coaches train, judges evaluate. This is a simple formula which we use. And even 1 mark when we are even point, not 1% also variation is coming. Even the athletes are crying and everybody starts fighting. There is no yogic. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Equanimity is yoga. It is only in theory, but it is not applied. When it is you or me, then everybody comes very harshly, fiercely, and that there is no yogic approach. So yoga should be approached as it is blended with the tradition and with the scientific integrations. So this is what I want to say to you. Now I can ask you any doubts if you have, you can ask. Please.
That was really a very insightful details. Like Jayanti ma'am, I think I at least am really happy and like surprised to know so many things which I never knew that exists in yogasana also. So I just go to judge some of the world record events and more. But in yogasana also one can be a judge, and these are the categories, and so detailed classification is there, and there's coaching for judges. First time I'm hearing. Really glad to hear about that, Jayanti
And
ma'am.
I want to add you one thing, madam. Why I came to this field is that first I said we started from Annamalai University. When it was first given, we trained one multiple disabled boy. Okay, if you give
Okay.
minutes, I will show you the video also. That boy name was Master Lalit Kumar, and he was fully blind, partially hearing, and he was,
Okay.
apart from that, he was epileptic. And when he was 8 years, he was withdrawn from the drugs. And we tried him, he became very hyperactive. And we tried music, tabela, something, nothing worked on him. I said to their parents, we can do with yoga. They said, yoga will not help. Why? Because we are BKs, the younger students. Do you think yoga is going to work for them? No, like that. I said, if we teach our children, they will not have any idea on it. But if somebody teaches, they will do it very nicely. So they said, let us try like that. And another person called Dr. Narajan, he trained that boy, and he trained passionately for more than 3 years to 5 years, like that. And that boy got the best creative child from APJ Abdul Kalam when he was president. Okay, so
That's amazing. That's amazing, ma'am.
in 2005, it was the first record of award got from APJ sir when he was president. And it was the motivational story for us to start. And now I am working as a honorary principal in Sri Raghavendra Avatar Sthala, like that. There is one small special school like that. So there are many improvements in the children. So I request all the yoga faculties to go and work over there. It gives more and more pleasure for everybody, and everybody starts work there like that. That students are very happy. Yoga gives best results like that, and we all have to involve ourselves in them, because we are teaching for the normal people. But for those people, even if you go and simply clap and see them, it gives immense happiness to them. Monthly once or 3 months once, like that, we all can visit to any special school and give a good hand to them and say about our breathing, about our asanas. They are very, very happy. They are very, very happy, and they enjoy the most of it, like that. So this is the thing. And I am also working how to enhance the Special Olympics, Para-Olympics, and Deaf Olympics are there. And we all should dream how yoga should come into Olympics. It is not one man's task or two man's task. It is the group or collective task of each and everybody. Because yoga came from us only, and we only should promote it. If we don't do, who will do? Like that, we have to think. And yeah, that is why we have to work the most like that to bring yoga into the limelight like that. So it gives immense happiness to work together. Give me a minute. I will share about that boy's performance.
Definitely, ma'am. You can definitely share. We have time.
1 minute, 1 minute.
And Divyaji is saying, yes, ma'am, I teach yoga for special children. They really enjoyed it. Thanks for sharing your experience also, Divyaji. And I think, yes, ma'am, what you're saying is right. Like many orphanages or many, as you said, especially abled kids or schools like that, they say many a times, like, today there is no deficit of funds for anybody to, support. But if somebody goes and spends even a little time with them, that is where people are really happy, and the kids feel blessed and all of that. And adding small practices of yoga and also shloka recitation and all definitely gives them a lot of positivity, good vibrations, and that itself heals them to greater extent, as you said. You brought up a very good point, ma'am. Thank you so much for that.
I got it, ma'am. 1 minute.
Yes, yes. So while you're bringing up the video, Pratima Arikedi ji there, she's asking, ma'am, this is for kids and youngsters, is what she's asking?
For Yogasana competition is from 10 years, madam. But if you see, when you are going for international level, we have to compete with China. They are very good at gymnastics and they start from much earlier time. Okay, so gymnastics, when we are in mother's womb itself, we start with Garbha Pindasana and many asanas like Pavana Muktasana. We are there. Whenever we are born, also you see the children is always doing Pavana Muktasana, Uttana Padasana, like that. We are every time it is asanas only. We don't say that we are not with the asanas like that. Only 8 years, 10 years like that. Slowly, but we should know what are the asanas to be given. We should not give breath holding practices or fast breathing up to 12 years. After that, we can give. We should not give topsy versy or headstand like that. That is very, very important. So these things we have to take care about like that.
Yes, ma'am. Sylvie G saying, happy to see you, Jayanti, ma'am. She's sharing, she's happy about it. And Divya Ji saying, thank you, ma'am. Very inspiring is what she's saying. And she's also asking, what is the difference between yogasana as sports and doing regularly basics of yogasana? So what is the difference between both?
Actually, yogasana sports can be achieved. You can achieve the gold medal only when you are doing it regularly. Very good question. If you are doing on consistent basis only, you can see that grace in that posture. See, some people for competition purpose, they practice. There they will get shivering because yogasana means with oxygen, aerobic. And without anaerobic means without oxygen. So when they are not practicing consistently, the grace will not be there. Some jerks will be there. Immediately, breathlessness will be there. So we can assess. So they will be getting minus 0.5, minus 0.5, minus, and they will come and fight, ma'am, I did that posture very nicely. That girl didn't do like that and all will come. Everybody will come. So that is why we will say every time read the code of points, read the micro marking system and come. Because our micro marking system carries many, we go deep into the micro marking system. Okay, so that micro marking system is very important. When we start as early as possible only, it will come. Some flexibility and all will come in, will not come in later days. So we have to start. That's why the role of coach here is very, very important. And all the coaches have to undergo the studies and all. And then only we have to practice, because now we are in the elementary level in yogasana sports like that. Compared to other sports like cricket, like that, we are in the elementary level and we are just trying to crawl and creep, and we have to stand on our own leg. Though it is our tradition, but in technical and in coaching aspects, many coaches have to come in each and every places. That is very important. And when coaches are according to the scientific norms only, athletes could be produced in a quality of the athletes will increase. So this is very, very important. So are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am. We are able to see the screen.
It is in Tamil language. So I will play for you. And
எதையும் சாதிக்க முடியும் என்று சில கருத்துக்களை எடுத்து சொன்னார்கள். அப்படி தன்னம்பிக்கையின் இலக்கணமாக இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு விஷயத்தை உங்களுக்கு கண்முன்னே எடுத்து காட்ட வேண்டும் என்பதற்கு ஒரு சின்ன பையனை இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ண போறேன். வணக்கம் மிஸ்டர் லலித்குமார். ஓகே, என் பேர் தான் ராஜேந்தர். வணக்கம். இந்த லலித்குமார்ங்கிற பையன் பிறந்ததுல பாடம் இல்லைங்க. அது மட்டும் இல்ல, அவருக்கு மூல வளர்ச்சி கம்மியாயிடுச்சு. எல்லாத்துக்கும் மேல அவருக்கு உடல் வளர்ச்சி குறைவா இருக்கிறதுல வலது பக்கத்துல எலும்பு வளர்ச்சி வலப்பக்கம் டோட்டலா இல்லை. எது சொன்னாலும் காதல வாங்கிக்க முடியாது. இந்த பையன் இப்படி பிறந்துட்டாங்கன்னு அந்த தாய் மனசு உடஞ்சில்லை. இப்படிப்பட்ட ஒரு மகனை வச்சுட்டு அந்த அம்மா போராடி வளர்த்துருக்காங்க. எப்படி தெரியுமா? உடம்பு தொட்டு எந்த உணர்வு.
See here, I will explain. So this boy is not able to see and he is not partially hearing only. And how you have been teaching, that was a question. We asked that master, because when we are somebody is able to see also, we say raise the hand, they are raising the leg. Raise left hand means raising the right hand. This goes. So that master used to say that he used to meditate. His soul is of pure nature, though his body may be like that. So you have to meditate, and then if you practice, it will be very easy to approach him. Okay, so this is the point which we have to understand. And his mother was very, very enthusiastic and energetic, and she also helped a lot.
Mhm.
காதுல எப்படி சொல்ல முடியாது, சொன்னாக்க புரியாது, காது கேட்காது. உணர்வுகளை உழைச்சுக்காங்க. இப்போ ஓரளவுக்கு தன்னால சின்ன வயசுல இருந்து கஷ்டப்பட்ட அந்த பையன் தன்னுடைய காரியங்களை அவரே செய்து கொள்ளக்கூடிய அளவுக்கு இன்னைக்கு அவர் வளர்ந்துட்டாரு. கொஞ்சம் எல்லாத்துக்கும் மேல இப்படி உள்ள பையனுக்கு அந்த அம்மாவோட தன்னம்பிக்கை கொண்டு இன்னைக்கு 250 விதமான யோகாவை இந்த பையன் செய்து காட்டக்கூடிய அளவுக்கு தன்னுடைய மகனை உருவாக்கி இருக்கிறார்.
This boy will be able to recite Patanjali Yoga Sutras, and because we saw that in Patanjali Yoga Sutras, there are 195 sutras. Okay, there are 195 gray matter, dura matter in the brain. So he started reciting the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, where his epileptic was fully controlled like that. Okay, and next, this boy was able to, he will, when you say your name, he will sing a song for you, and he was able to perform 250 asanas.
Great.
சிதம்பரம் சார்ந்த நடனம் என்ற இயக்க பயிற்சி ஆசிரியர் அந்த கலையை ஒரு தாயோட தன்னம்பிக்கையை துணை கொண்டு இந்த யோகா ஆசிரியரை கொண்டு 250 யோகா அந்த பயிற்சி செஞ்சிருக்காரு. இதை பார்த்துவிட்டு இதை போல இயலாமையில் வாழக்கூடிய குழந்தைகள் அவங்களுடைய சிறப்பு தகுதிக்காகவும் திறமைக்காகவும் இந்திய அரசாங்கம் வருஷத்துக்கு 2 அவார்டு கொடுக்கும். அவங்களுடைய கிரியேட்டிவிட்டியை பார்த்துட்டு அப்படி இந்திய நாட்டின் ஜனாதிபதி அப்துல் கலாம் கையாலே 2005ஆம் ஆண்டு இந்த லலித்குமார் பெற்றிருக்கிறார். ஏதாவது ஆசனத்தை செஞ்சு காட்டுங்க, ஒரு யோகாசனத்தை.
So
that's really inspiring, ma'am. I mean, for humans like us who have everything, we find it so difficult many a times to do so many things. And I think this kind of instances is really inspiring to say that there's a lot to be done in this life.
yeah, so that boy was inspiring for us, and he did many wonderful things like that, and we were all motivated by him only, and we started teaching many people, and he was the inspiring person for us because we saw through him the results. That was the role of a coach. We have to coach nicely to attain it. Yeah, so it is yogam seivadarku yogam vendum. If you have good fortunate only, you can hear the word yoga. So we are all very fortunate to hear this word yoga. And as a women, we have a good role. Why? Because after seeing this boy, I got many mothers came and they were very frustrated how this children, how to support these children like that and all. It came into mind, these children should not be born. Okay, so that is why I took my PhD topic, how to increase intelligence from the fetus. Okay.
Okay.
So
Okay, great.
how we have to bring young and energetic children. And because nowadays all the women are getting frustration, and we are all
Right.
our sitting hours, if we sit continuously for 1 hour, it is like we are consuming a cigarette. Okay,
Mm.
so that is very harmful like that. And today we are filled up with PCOS, PCOD, thyroid, and what not like that. Our seed has been lost. We don't have a valuable seed. When the seed is very good, our genes are very good only, we would have a healthy baby. So this universe should be full of healthy baby, means healthy mothers only can bring out a healthy baby. So that is what we have to work a lot and lot like that in this area. So much women should come into yoga, but it gives happiness wherever in India or abroad, wherever we go, we see many women in this field. So whenever women are into the field of yoga, we can pull lot of people to create a healthy world. Okay, so that is very much we should be all involved, and government is also encouraging women's, and this year is ours because IDY celebrations has given the motto for healthy women. Okay,
Yes.
so in that way, I'm very happy that Indian Yoga Association of Bangalore is very interested to conduct about 64 women's like that. I hear through Malati ma'am, and I thank Malati ma'am. And I should mention here about Subbubaya. Subbubaya, I have seen him from many years from Chennai, from Bangalore like that. And Baya is very inspiring personality. He is very heart thrown for yoga. Wherever yoga is there, he will be there with the beautiful smiles. He cracks many jokes, and we will be enjoying his company. And much respects to the elders and tradition. I thank Subbubaya for the wonderful opportunity, and thank you everybody for coming into the session, because today's sparring time is becoming very smaller. Though we have a short time, we are having a valuable time with our friends. And this is Yogic Parivar, where we enjoy so much into yoga. So thank you everybody. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for a very knowledgeable, insightful, and motivating and inspiring session, I must say. We have a few comments coming up, like Lakshmiji saying, wow, super, ma'am. Selvi saying, excellent, ma'am. And Padmalata ji, she's saying, it's amazing, ma'am. God has gifted him with such good talent. It's very inspiring. Definitely, it's really inspiring. Shilpa KRG, she's saying, greatly motivated to all, ma'am. Really happy to see this. Many thanks, ma'am. It was a very inspiring session. Then Bhagyaji is saying, nice session, madam. Yeah, lots of compliments that's flowing in. Thank you so much. Jayanti ji,
Thank you.
I have one question from my side, maybe. Yeah, even I always feel like we should do our bit wherever possible, to whatever extent. So, would you be open to guide and teach me and people like me who are interested to probably pursue this journey further with a proper guidance in this direction, maybe?
Yeah, surely I will be so much happy to guide in the field of yoga, whatever you want. And for the past many years, I have been a yoga faculty for Annamalai University, now in Wales University, and MSc like that and all, and for PhD. And every time it is my dreams is that yoga should help to have a healthy world, because this healthy universe could be achieved only through yoga. Andathil ullathu pindathil. What is there in the universe is there in your body. So when your body is aligned through self-transformation, and it leads to universal transformation, because now is the arena of the artificial intelligence. Everybody, we are in the phones, we are in the TV, everywhere we are searching somewhere, but our emotions has been lost. And as Steve Jobs and Stephen Hawking have been pointed out, only artificial intelligence will lead to the destroying of this entire planet. Okay, so soon this is going to happen, as they have given a red card to us. We should be very careful. Through yoga only we can achieve peace. Otherwise, we all will be into pieces. So we all have to enjoy the path of yoga. At the same time, we have to spread this fragrance in the day of International Yoga Day celebrations to each and everybody, to whatever level. some people will not have that fortunate to come into yoga because it is not deserved for everybody, because they should have good karma. We should not be disappointed, but we have to still do our duty. But we should not be envy, because we should not have hatredness or anything, because we are hating our own group of cells. So we should love everybody, love as if they are, and we have to accept them, and we have to be in the present moment, and we have to give this yoga art to everybody, whether they want or they don't want. One day they will surely proceed, because for the past 30 years I'm in this field. I have seen after 20 years some people coming and saying, Madam, you said something yoga, can we learn, start now? Like that. So we should be passionate, and we should be very loveful to them to teach after 20 years. Where years are not the matter. When they are having, when they are deserving, when they are desired by the God only. It is God's plan. It is this speech was not predetermined or anything, but it happens because of God's own will. So that's what yoga is, and we all have to enjoy our travel. And this yogic parivar gives more and more happiness than the real family. And we all, with the yoga spirits, satsang is very important, and we all have to conduct many programs. I know how difficult it is to organize a program, because whenever you organize a program, we have to call many people, we have to ask them like that, because I had many talks with the ma'am, and she was saying this, that, like that and all. And I thank Madam Malati Madam, and everybody who has organized and taken pains to sacrifice their valuable time, because that is very great nowadays, valuable time. And thank you once more. Thank you everybody.
Ma'am, thank you so much. So what an incredible, inspiring session. Thank you, ma'am. Very reassuring is what Sunita ji says. Interesting session, madam. Thank you very much, as Vanaja ji says. Divya is asking, kindly guide me to teach yoga for special children, ma'am. So as you reassured to us, I think definitely.
Surely, ma'am. Because we have to work more for these children, because it is the dark area which has not been explored, and teaching yoga to the children is a very easy task when we start understanding them, when we have to put our legs in their shoes and see. Then that empathy should be there with us, and then only we can help them. Thank you, ma'am, for blooming this wonderful idea, because for others, many people will be there. For these persons, you are the advocate, and you have to all work with them. And this is very important. Surely, ma'am, you please ask, and we will guide you, ma'am.
Ma'am, some people are asking for your contact details. Is it okay to share here, or you want to share?
Yeah, madam. Yeah, madam. No problem. Wait, ma'am. This is my contact number. You can contact or text me like that. And it is really motivating to see all of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much as being with us as one of the yoginis in this 64 sessions, and guiding and enlightening us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamujjatyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnamevavashistate Loga Samasta Shugino Bhavantu Loga Samasta Shugino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Pranam,
Thank you, ma'am. Pranams. So to all the audience out there, thank you so much for staying with us. And I think definitely it was one of the pleasing sessions, and a lot of things for us to know, something new and something more. And it is actually inspiring us to do more in the journey. So today here we all are there as part of Yoga for Women Empowerment, Yoga Shakti Sangama 2024, organized by Indian Yoga Association, Kriya, on the occasion of International Day of Yoga 2024 for Yoga for Women Empowerment. So we had an inspiring session from Jayanti ji. Now we invite the next guest of the day, Srimati Lakshmi Anand ji, who's going to guide and inspire us on the topic Yoga Away from the Mat. So, Namaste Lakshmi ji and welcome to the show. Yes, before we proceed, I take this opportunity. It's my pleasure to introduce Lakshmi ji to everybody. So, Srimati Lakshmi Anand ji from Shri Yoga Vijnana Kendra Yelahanka. Shri Yoga Vijnana Kendra has been working towards health and happiness for all through scientific yoga. From kids to the elderly, the Kendra caters to all varieties of needs and reaches out to the people on individual as well as institutional requirement. She has been conducting theory as well as practical sessions for various age groups and different categories. Lakshmi ji also engages herself in individual therapy sessions for suicidal thoughts, depression, anxiety, and other lifestyle problems. She is also a psychological counselor. Her sessions are always focused on maintaining the classical Ashtanga yoga practice in accordance with the prescriptions of Vyasa Jigani. So, ma'am, I think it's all a pleasure and honor to have you today as part of this Nari Shakti Yoga Sangama organized by IYA, Indian Yoga Association of Karnataka. Welcome to the show, and the stage is yours, waiting to hear from you.
Namaste. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. Endaro Mahanubhavulu Andariki Vandanamulu. Namo Mahatsu Sarveshu Sarvabhuteshu Chatmani. Salutations to all the great souls present in every being and the self. So many stalwart speakers have been here on this platform. My salutations, pranams to all of them. And I'm highly honored and privileged to be here in this sacred Vyasapitha. Though it is online, the sessions have been nothing short of satsang for all of us. And we've been immensely rewarded by all these sessions and stimulated by the jnana that has been shared from speakers from all parts of Karnataka as well as beyond. I must congratulate the efforts of the backend team taking care of the technicalities involved in putting this up together. Salutations. While Bharata Bhumi has always been seeking Ano Bhadraha Kratavo Yantu Vishwataha, the yoga tradition itself is a very sacred space. Thinking and talking or listening about this is one of the greatest blessings, as Dr. Jayanti, the earlier speaker, expert, also said. So it is a huge responsibility, not only on the speaker, but also as part of you all listening as an audience. So I request all the audience to address the present speaker as Bhagini or Didi rather than Madam, which is a much lower vibration word as compared to any Indian languages. Akka, even Didi, Bhagini, anything would be a more better substitute than Madam or substitute to Madam. So let us, being in the sacred endeavor, let us choose higher energy words in our speech, referring to ourselves as well as while referring to others around us. So the topic for today's satsang, let me share the screen.
Yes, ma'am, it's Lakshmi ji, yes, it's visible.
Visible? Okay. So the topic says yoga away from the mat, 10 simple practices for a tension-free daily routine. And I just want to take this opportunity to introduce Shri Yoga Vijnana Kendra. We've been highly blessed by the Association of Vyasa at Jigani and personally from Guruji. So I think I seek his blessings on this platform for a successful presentation. So when we start rolling back our mat, the moment we start doing that, I've kept the milk to boil, or I have kept something in the refrigerator, or something is yet to come. I have to take delivery of all these. So the real life challenges actually start when we say, Om Shanti Shanti, roll back our mats and come back to our kitchen or the home or the workplace, wherever we are. So 10 variations in asanas that we learn on the mat, which can be slightly modified in our daily routine and incorporated or rather intertwined in our routine so as to minimize the tensions that we face in our challenges when we interact with the world. So from wake up to sleep, this is what is in store in the presentation that's upcoming. So we wake up, and the whole night, Mother Earth has been taking care of us. So when we wake up, our first connection is with Mother Earth as it continues from sleep. So wake up stretches to begin the day. So we interlock the fingers and stretch the whole body. So from the torso, the upper part goes upward, from the trunk downward, the lower part goes downward. So these stretches, when we do 7 to 10 repetitions, it reduces lethargy. And if we follow it with breathing, then it becomes all the more mindful. So we wake up to Suptasana. Oral cleansing in Malasana. Many, variations in the Google or internet pronounce this as Malasana or call it as the garland pose, which is also fine. But if we go by the Sanskrit meaning of the word Mala, it means toxins. And hence Malasana is a posture that helps us remove the toxins from the body. And ideally, if we can sit, it's not an easy posture. I mean, initially we may have to take back support at the wall or, have a higher platform on which to sit so that the leg muscles, ankle muscles get enough strength for us to be able to bear our body weights in this posture. And it's recommended. This picture shows a traditional woman using a neem stick or some other, a stick also is prescribed. So she's chewing it. So ideal time taken for the entire oral cavity to get clean is 5 minutes. That's the ideal time. Maybe we can start this routine as a weekend practice where we have a little time for self-care, and then we can extend it over to the weekdays as well. So when we sit in this, the immediate thing what we want to do is to evacuate our bowels. So naturally also, just after brushing the teeth, which happens to be the first so-called activity of the day, the next thing would be to cleanse the bowel and then resume our daily chores or routine, whatever. So it gives a good, energetic start by throwing out the toxins of the earlier day. And then the day begins, it carries ahead. So I have taken traditional roles and duties, maybe can be substituted on a day when the Kamwali takes a chutti, or even, informed leave she has taken. That case also, this can be applied. So Ardha Uttanasana, like half forward bending practice. So all these practices which are there in the daily routine, can we think of them as an asana and mindfully practice this to get the benefit of the mat, off the mat? The benefit that we get of the asana in the mat, can we spread it or spill it over outside the mat also? So benefits, we all as teachers know of these benefits. We have read them, we have said them a number of times to our students. But when we practice it mindfully in our daily routine, it gives us an opportunity to experience that. And most of all, forward bending as an asana category develops humility. So I think yoga is all about letting go of the ego. So this is a good way of bringing or reminding us of that. So many times, these things we are very good at telling others, but when it comes to ourselves, then Dr. Jayanti was also mentioning that the participants no longer remain yogis. Same can apply to us. So are we conscious of what we think a few days ago when I was chatting with a yogi friend, she mentioned that we are not even amoeba in the field of yoga. So many acharyas and rishis have contributed to this knowledge that nothing but humility should be an offspring or should be a byproduct of all our practices. So Ardha Uttanasana for chores which involve forward bending. I hope the slides are clear. I am not able to make out.
It's coming up well, Lakshmi Didi, but if you want to even make it full screen, like you can make it just to the left of it, slideshow. No, there is another icon left to the on the left side of increase and decrease, no?
Okay, this one?
Yeah, you can. Yes. Yeah, this will be more.
Is this better?
Yes, this is perfect.
Okay. So then the routine continues after cleaning the house. We usually go for a bath, and then the first thing after bath, when the body is electrified and cooled down, immediately you want to offer that moment of gratitude to your whoever you connect to as your Ishta Devata. So Shashankasana is a good asana to connect with the divine. So hands enfolded Namaskara Mudra, and then the body is prostrating, with gratitude to Bhagwan. So like earlier we were talking about the letting go. So it's a time to relax, especially because after a shower or a bath, the mind, the body, everything has calmed down. We are in a different zone of thoughts altogether. So then Sharanagati Bhava or surrender to the Supreme comes naturally. And then next is Virasana. So now after offering prayers or the worship or puja, whatever you do in your puja room, the work starts, or rather it continues. So ideally, you may have seen your mothers or grandmothers sitting in this posture when they chop their vegetables or they grate their coconut or they do any chores. They would find this as a most comfortable. So how can we, ignore this possibility that this is a slight modification of Virasana, hero's posture? Why only for the hero? Virasana also is for the Virangana in each of us. So it gives a nice compression at the tummy region. So it facilitates and it gives maximum movement for the joint, thigh joint, and it facilitates the chores or the actions or activities that we are supposed to do. So here 2 examples I've taken, but many more can be thought of by creative bhaginis who are in the session for today. And then we complete all the chores and then we sit down for food yoga. Sukhasana is the recommended asana. So the mind gets relaxed, and this is as the name itself suggests, Sukhapurvaka asana. So you can see even schoolgirls and especially in weddings or certain important rituals, food is served in a banana leaf traditionally, and then that also is very scientifically, chlorophyll gets into the body and so much benefit. And most of all, it promotes mindful eating, and hence we tend to avoid overeating. It reduces the chance of overeating when we sit down for a meal. So there are 2 S that we can think of while eating. One is Sukhasana and one is switch off the gadgets or keep it away at least. So, it's quite challenging. At least Sukhasana is easier because we are all yogis, but switching off the gadget might seem a little challenging, but we can try and make yoga more and more part of our daily routine. And then after the meal, you do whatever is necessary, wash the plate in which you had the food, or wash your hands, or whatever is needed, clear the table, or clear the utensils, vessels, etc., clean the platform, and then come to Vajrasana. So only meal which is prescribed, only asana which is prescribed after the meal. So there are 2 possibilities. One is you spread your heels and sit, so the toes are touching each other. Another is you Have the heels and the toes parallel to each other, which is also a recommended or a possible variation in the same posture. So it redirects the energy for development of conscious, and it gives a moment and a space, a break, so to say, to express gratitude to all the people who've been involved in serving me my meal for that time. It could be the farmer, it could be the cook, or even if I have cooked the meal, it is a blessed opportunity that I get to cook my own meal and have it, which is like quite healthier as compared to being served some ready to eat or packed food or whatever. So it gives a lot of emotional connect when we have home cooked or food made by our own selves. So that is Vajrasan. And the day spills over, you may have a small nap after your food, or continue with your daily chores, etc. And then when we meet people, social interaction, pranamasan for people yoga. So the hands, fingers come together, the thumbs are pressing the heart chakra. So it helps connect with people. It helps align ourselves. It helps align the spine. We can feel the surface of the feet on the floor or on the carpet or wherever we are standing. And it gives a very good positive, openness. It invites the other person to come into my zone. So it is a very harmonious way to tell the other person that, yes, I am available. So let us sit and talk, or, I am open to receive your presence in the place or in the space that you're occupying. So it improves, it connects, it helps us. Again, it brings us back the thought of humility. Whatever energy the elder person or even other person, we respect the soul, not only looking at that person as a body or an assemblage of whatever bones and muscles, but beyond that, it is the soul, it is the Atma that we are going down to in Pranamasana. And finally, at the end of the day, this is a modified version of Anantasana, which promotes sleep, it induces relaxation, stabilizes the mood, and promotes mindfulness. It facilitates breathing. So it actually is very recommended and useful to reduce snoring or conditions like sleep apnea. So you might be wondering, there are only 9 practices that have 9 asanas or modifications of asanas that I've talked about. And where is the 10th? So the 10th one is the mindfulness in the entire thing. That itself becomes a practice. Constant reminders to bring the mind back to the present moment by itself is the 10th practice. So why yoga away from the mat? Already we are taking so many sessions, already we have our own practice. Then why? So whichever path we choose, carry the yoga with you, is what Sadhguru says. So why? Is because it creates fun element in the daily chores that we do. And it keeps the body and the mind young and agile and makes us more mindful, balanced, peaceful, and brings about a calmness in our actions. So the factor of boredom, oh, I am bored, will reduce when we start becoming more and more aware of what is the next thing that I am doing. So the mechanicalness of the routine will be reduced. And when we do that, unnecessary expenditure of energy reduces, and there is a time that is created for positive contributions. As yogis, we know that paropakaraya idam shariram. The very reason that our body is made, or we have been given this body and mind, is for being useful or being some upayoga to the other people around us. So there is opportunity, energy, and time. Like all speakers have highlighted this point, that there is so much that can be done and needs to be done. So if we incorporate this along with every other thing that we have been doing, it provides us that space, that energy, and that time. And of course, when we are conscious of what we are doing, so vacha, manasa, karma, now everything aligns, that becomes yoga. So it tunes us to our spiritual well-being. From Taittiriya Upanishad, there are 3 important lessons for every yogi. Satyan na pramaditavyam, dharman na pramaditavyam, kushalan na pramaditavyam, bhutyai na pramaditavyam, swadhyaya pravachanabhyam na pramaditavyam. Pramada is alasya, laziness. So he warns us, the Guru warns us, saying that do not neglect or do not shy away from speaking the truth. Do not fall from your duties or never overlook your own welfare. I think this is what is most important. While we are busy, spreading health and happiness to other people around us, somewhere our own self-care takes a backseat. In many earlier sessions, people were saying, I was wanting to have this session of Nadanusandana meditation, or I was longing for this session of meditation or acupressure, because every time we are doing it for others and we wish that somebody does it for us. So why somebody else when we ourselves can take care of certain aspects of our self-care through this? So from the Upanishad, it says, do not sacrifice your own welfare. So your self-care is prime. And do not feel guilty if you, spend your time in self-care. And never overlook your prosperity. Again, many a times this question of whether yoga can itself be a well-paying job opportunity or a profession. So again, the Upanishad comes to our rescue. It says, do not overlook your own prosperity. So take care of that financial aspect also. Of course, prosperity is not limited to finances. The Vedas and the Upanishads also tell us that giving is an equally important duty of a yogi as receiving. So we receive with one hand, we give with both the hands. This is a reminder when we say exhale a little longer than you inhale. So we give away more than we take in. So never overlook your own prosperity. And most important, I feel here is never neglect your own study, which is learning. Svadhyaya is svadhyaya, self-learning. So you learn, you read something, you contemplate, you meditate, you reflect upon it, you learn. And then it becomes my prime duty to share it with somebody I know, or even if I don't know. Sharing of that learning is equal to caring. So never neglect the opportunity to share with friends and fellow yogis, yoga bandhus, yoga bhaginis, whatever little bit you have understood or contemplated upon. So Svadhyaya Pravachana. Pravachana here is that discourse or the opportunity to teach or share whatever you have learned. And I'm sure we all agree that in this way, the yoga itself, of course, there is no scope for any new wisdom to arrive. But the fact that so many people can benefit from our little knowledge is itself a motivation to take care of constantly learning, teaching, learning, teaching. So we all know 4 yogas: Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Raja Yoga. Now, Bhagavan Krishna himself in the 9th chapter assures us, gives us a promise that Ananyas Chintayanto Ma Ye Janaha Paryupasate Tesham Nityabhyuktanam Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. Again, the word yoga is here. So, to those who are constantly devoted, every action as worship, as a form of devotion. That even like Dr. Jayanti also earlier mentioned, that it's a blessing to be here. I am not doing anything. It's an opportunity provided by Bhagavan to be associated and to be part of this satsang itself is a blessing. So whatever extra is a bonus. So when we look at everyday action with that attitude and then with love towards God, then Bhagavan assures that I give them the jnana, the understanding through which yoga finally can happen. So to reach real yoga, karma, bhakti, jnana, all three are required. And when we practice our actions in this way, then definitely there are more chances that we progress in the spiritual ladder. So, Yogakshema means whatever they require for their daily routine, that is also taken care of. And what they lack, that I am providing. Like that's a guarantee. What else do we need? Why have doubt in the field of yoga or about the job opportunities of yoga or yoga itself as a career? So there should be no doubt, because Bhagwan himself has assured us of this. He himself has assured us of our Yogakshema. But he says Nityabhyuktanam, Nitya, not like once in a week or, only on Amavasya, only on Paurnami or only on Ekadashi or certain special days, but Nitya, every day, every moment to moment awareness, then this happens. So, thank you so much again. Feel free to contact us. This is our contact number. We are based in Yelahanka, Bengaluru. This is our social media presence. We are, of course, in the infancy as far as this is concerned, but we've completed 11 years and we conduct a yoga instructors program affiliated to Vyasa, and other courses like advanced yoga, Sri Kalpa yoga, Power yoga, and other regular classes also happen. So, is there anything?
You so much, Lakshmi ji. I think in a very nice, sweet way, you explained to all of us like how easily one can inculcate the practices of yoga in our day-to-day life at various times, maybe. Definitely, I think if we follow, many a times we say that we don't have time, we're running short of time. And off late, I think it is more that, I'm busy with that. I have to take care of kids. I have to look after my family and, I have to go to work. So amidst of all of that, like we know like so many asanas that you told us, like, maybe while brushing your teeth or while eating the food, we know it, but we fail to follow it in our daily life. So this was really insightful to reiterate, re-emphasize, educate on like why you need to do it and what kind of benefits it can bring to us. Thank you so much. So I request all the audience, if you have it, ma'am, if you could stop sharing the screen. Yes, great. So if anybody has any questions to Lakshmi ji, like you can say that, okay, I'm doing something like this in my day-to-day life. What do you say about this? Or you can, if you are practicing any asana in your day-to-day life, which we have not discussed about, you can just bring it to our notice and it'll be a learning for all of us also today. Or anything you want to share, please go ahead and share it in the chat window. So meanwhile, Lakshmi ji, Savi Yoga, they are commenting and saying very informative, Lakshmi Bhagini, they're saying. And Selvi ji is saying, excellent session, ma'am. Shilpa ji is saying, very beautifully brought the daily course into yoga poses for our mindfulness. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Very insightful, Lakshmi Bhagini ji. Meena ji is saying, please repeat the slides again, ma'am. Bhagya ji is requesting, like, if you can quickly walk through us the slides once again, that'll be great.
Okay, so is that visible?
Yes. Yes, it's visible.
Yeah, so 10 simple practices for a tension-free daily routine. So maybe from the glimpse we can start. Suptasana, Ardha Uttanasana, Malasana, sorry, I think it's like this. Suptasana, Virasana, Ardha Uttanasana, Shashankasana, Virasana, Sukhasana, Vajrasana, Pranamasana, of course, multiple times whenever you get in a social situation, or even if some guest is at home, Pranamasana can be practiced. And then Anantasana, of course, you can take time for Shavasana also, maybe a slight nap afternoon, or, after you have food, a power nap of 15 to 20 minutes in Shavasana also is fine. And that also helps connect. I keep reminding myself that Shavasana is the only posture that's going to stay with me till the end of my life. So let me get some perfection in that asana. So Suptasana, if I were to demonstrate, so you lie down in supine and interlock your fingers, that improves the stretch and stretch the whole body. So when you do it with your eyes closed 7 to 10 times, you can actually feel this rib cage expanding, the whole body actually rising upward and the lower body going downward. So all the tightness, all the stiffness which was there earlier when we were sleeping for 6 to 7 hours or whatever duration, all that reduces, not at one go, but definitely slowly we start waking up to the brightness of the day. So with breathing also, so when you stretch, there's inhalation, and when you relax or let go of the stretch, then there is exhalation. So Malasana again, maybe a challenge for many people, especially who have knee issues or lower back pain, etc., or for the elderly. Again, required support can be taken, like you sit on a chair and keep your feet on another adjustment, or stools on either side, or some support on either side for the feet to withstand, and gradually let go of that support so that the spine gets the required strength, the ankles get the required strength, and first and foremost, the tummy gets that required compression to keep the internal organs in place. So I think that is a very good benefit. And of course, cleansing of the bowels, as a prerequisite for every asana practice. So the Shuchi part is taken care of. And then, of course, if we have time for asana, I think that should be the time after you finish your bowel movement, and then the body is better able to breathe deeper, to experience the asana, to experience the changes in the breathing pattern, to experience the changes in the internal organs. I feel that is and we have already stated earlier that this is a very sacred practice, and I'm very glad and thankful to each of you that you have made that effort consciously to address Didi or Bhagini, or so I'm really thankful for that. So Malasan,
And also,
then
Lakshmi, I think this is also just to add, like maybe today's for women especially, right? The delivery of the baby, when you say I want normal delivery or natural delivery of the birth of the baby. So this is something doctors.
absolutely, yes.
So this is something
Correct.
from long ago, which should ideally be naturally part of our process. But today, on doctors' advice, on the yoga trainers' advice, people have started doing it. So I think, yeah, very glad like you brought it up again.
Correct. So this point that for fertility and for reproductive health, again, this is so. We can keep recommending, reminding our participants that if they have younger girls, daughters, daughter-in-laws in their home, please recommend them to bring this into their habit, that they brush their teeth sitting down in Malasana, squatting down position. So, like Dr. Jayanti said, we can hope for healthier, happier offspring, infants, neonates born as beautiful, healthier, happier, all limbs intact, stronger babies. So I think, yeah, thank you, Bhana Didi, for bringing that up. Then whenever we do mopping or swabbing or whatever is the routine chores, I think Ardha Uttanasana, even if the knees are slightly bent, doesn't matter, still it is a very beneficial practice. So if we, again, all our traditions have been so scientifically designed and in that order that if we just even blindly follow them, there are so many benefits that we can get. So this idea of, first cleaning the whole thing. So traditionally, the idea has been that rice flour is used for the rangoli, not the chemicals, etc. So the rice flour serves as food for the little insects that come. And what a wonderful way, the atithya bhava, atithi devo bhava. So why not the insects also who come? Some soul connection is definitely there. Otherwise, why would they come to your home? So offering them atithya even to the insects is a wonderful, what is wrong in following that? we may not be very artistic, we may not be very, good at making the patterns, but if we definitely start, then it will take a beautiful shape. Moreover, it gives a personal satisfaction. The creative aspect of the yogi comes out. Maybe we can think of a stick pose asana itself as a rangoli and get creative with that. And think of many creative ways where this asana can be used. Again, more so because of Bhagini's empowerment of women, all these were duties that the girls were doing. And naturally, the day of delivery is like any other day for them. No hospitalization, they would go to the fields or they would go to the forest, they would chop wood and they would come back with the baby in their hands. Self-delivery, we can't go back to such ancient times, but definitely if the girls of our home start doing these chores, definitely we can achieve the dream of the earlier speaker. And then after bath, we recommended Shashankasana to have a divine connect because the forehead is touching the mat or the floor. So wherever your puja room, just bow down and surrender, even that little time, few seconds of gratitude and that connection that you have, two-way communication might happen with you and your Ishta Devata. So what more can you ask in terms of an energy? So the internal batteries are recharged when we go to Shashankasana. And then Virasana for the Virangana. So this also, the range of movement, if you see for the thigh joint, for the spine, the slight forward bend in the posture and the movement, it is much more comfortable than standing at the platform and chopping vegetables on the chopper board. Maybe we can try for chopping vegetables or grating coconuts or any, here she's shown making a garland for her puja or whatever. Also, when feeding kids, when sitting down, this also is an alternative. And especially in traditional Tamil Nadu families, this is a common practice. Our grandmothers and all, we've never seen them sitting anything close to a chair. They would always be sitting. So there would be this pestle and mortar where they would grind masalas and cook their food. So constantly, even the platform was situated on a lower level. So most of the activities would happen sitting down. And now that the doctors are insisting no sitting down, our knees are getting even more lesser used to sitting down. So probably if we start doing this, our knees can hope for some relief. So then after cooking meals, Sukhasana, most of all, it is mindful. And again, even when we sit down on the floor, there are insects, microbes, or some organisms or germs. We first clean that place, sit in Sukhasana. And then when we start having food, we may inadvertently spill a few morsels. And then again, some insect may partake it as food. So prasadam for that insect. So again, a nice way to keep us connected. The whole objective is that like Brahmanda, Pinda, everything is there, macro and microcosm, same way. Today we are food to somebody, tomorrow something else becomes our food. So the cycle keeps on going. So unless we have that connection, it may, we may not be as beautiful yogis as much as yoga promises us to be. So the whole objective is revolved around that. We talked about Vajrasana, how it facilitates digestion, how it keeps the spine aligned and allows the food to go inside, and that mindful breathing of gratitude to people who have been responsible for giving us that food. All this, controls sexual desires, facilitates digestion, and allows us that energy to move upwards. And then, of course, Pranamasana can go multiple times in the day, where we can, connect to our elders, connect to whoever is respectful, not only in terms of age, but whoever you think you feel connected to and want to respect that person. This is a beautiful way. And also as an asana, it has so many benefits. And many times we have this habit of namaskara or pranama like this, but it says the thumbs should actually touch the center of the chest. That gives a much wider scope for the chest and the shoulders to expand and the elbows to come in one line, and hence create a complete closure for the palms. So there is this benefit in pranamasana. And then finally wind up the day with a modified version of Anantasana. But if you can, if you are so flexible enough to keep the legs straight, at least the initial part of the sleep routine, maybe half an hour, 10, 15 minutes, and then go to your comfortable sleep zone, still it will be beneficial. So you will sleep soundly, people around you also will sleep soundly, because it reduces the occurrence of snoring, it improves digestion, it reduces the chances of acidity when we sleep on the side, especially in this posture. Okay, so we saw the benefits, and then you can keep on adding the benefits. I could just list few of them in the slide, whatever I was able to accommodate. And then, yes, so I think this needs one more reminder. So in several ways, Taittiriya Upanishad is only one example, but in so many texts in the Vedas and Upanishads, we've been reminded that duty is the foremost. Whatever we have chosen as the duty, never allow any. So, many a times today something comes up and then I easily skip the yogasana. I will not skip any other routine, but yoga session is easiest to skip. So I will put a message saying that I am not available, I'm not coming to the yoga class today. So let us not do that. We owe this much duty to our body. Imagine what all it does to us. Are we aware the number of times it beats? Are we aware the length of the channels inside the body? Maybe physiologically, yes, but are we aware as a where is the stomach? Where is the liver? Where is the spleen? Where is the kidneys located? And then can we feel it as a knowledge when we look at a diagram? Yes, we know. But we owe it to our body, though we may not understand, but definitely the body deserves this much attention and self-care combined with the breathing practice. And it says, your own welfare comes first, your own prosperity comes first. That will give you the energy required to selflessly give to others. So teaching, learning should constantly keep happening. There's no age for learning. Like so many people do PhD, and in our yoga instructors course, we have a couple who is 60 plus years old, and everybody around is so inspired by them. They say, yes, now I have the time and the freedom because all these years I was working. I don't want to waste a single moment from now on, and I'll become trained yoga instructors and do my bit to serve the cause of yoga. So that is the inspiration of teaching, learning that comes with the constant reminder of yoga in our lives. And thanks to our ancient rishis and munis who have made it so simple. Otherwise, women were not allowed to do yoga. As in, of course, the routine chores itself was griha yoga for them. So there was no need of external, 1 hour away from the home to go and have a yoga session. But still, things have become much more simpler. Like, especially Bangalore, I feel it's just at a stone's throw away. I think yoga, and there's a yoga center in front of me. I just have to put my effort to go to the center. Rest everything, I think yoga itself has the magic to keep me consistently on that path. So, immense gratitude to all the Maharshis, all the Gurus, all the Acharyas who have contributed, who have put in their heart and soul through their meditative powers to bring the sacred knowledge as if in a platter. We just have to, nothing else needs to be done. I mean, it would be a loss to this tradition if we do not at least now pull our reins together and, give ourselves this yoga opportunity.
Yes, Lakshmi Didi, thank you so much. Bhagya ji, I think the review of the slides was really helpful. I think that is what you asked for. And Selvi ji says, excellent session, Didi. Krishna ji says, once you understand yoga well, everything can become yoga. Yes. Ritesh ji says very beautiful session. Thank you so much for the nice words. Vanaja ji says excellent session, Lakshmi Bhagini. Thank you very much. And we have okay. There's a question coming up, Lakshmi Didi. For sleep apnea, can you give more information, please?
So technically, I may not be able to, but yes, there are several practices like Ujjayi, which also help yogically to reduce the snoring, and of course, breath awareness and correcting the neck position while going to sleep, choosing the appropriate pillow, and choosing the correct surface also is very important. So nowadays, the trend is to go for very soft, ultra soft mattresses which sink us down, which may not be very, very beneficial to the spine. In fact, it may cause damage to the spine. So again, like whatever habits we start early, they're going to stay with us longer time. So if we expose our body early on in life to comforts and luxury, saying that, we didn't get to experience this when we were kids, let us give it to our kids, then we are definitely ruining their body. We are ruining their mentalities. So it is time to consider the traditional habits and go back slowly, at least one step at a time, one habit at a time, one asana at a time, to the lifestyle that our parents or grandparents were following. Maybe not neem twig, maybe not charcoal, but some little change, considering that we owe so much to the environment. Let us not at least harm it. I'm sure we are not in a position to contribute in terms of Vriksharopan or in terms of digging a well and, making sure that clean, clear water is brought to the homes of people. But at least our bit in reducing that.
Yes, I think that was rightly brought up. Like, whatever is in our reach, let us try to invest and bring in the change to that extent, at least. Very well said, Bidi. Vanajaji, hope that is guiding you in towards the question that you asked. So Sunita ji says, thank you, dear Didi, for the lovely session. Bhagya ji says, thank you so much, madam. Asanas with closed eyes and chantings is our inner journey, which we are experiencing daily. Your talk made me more happy, is what Vanajaji says. And we have Anuradha ji says, thank you. Many dhanyavad Bhagini is what Shilpa ji says. Padmalata, dhanyavad Didi. Sunita ji says, for insomnia too, could you suggest something?
Yeah, I think we are, as yoga teachers, we are all aware that if we follow this routine, then definitely, sleep is bound to happen. So as a psychologist, probably few insights would be that if my focus is on external world, like I keep thinking, I keep bothering, what will this person think? What will the other person say? Or that person said hurtful things to me 20 years ago. We still keep it in our minds. That occupies our minds, so getting to sleep becomes challenging. So if we can do some end of the day winding down practices, like whatever has happened this day, it's a blessing, and whatever I was able to do, that is also a blessing. And I allow this day to peacefully end. So the chapter of the day is closed, and I open myself anew, afresh for the next morning, which again is a blessing, because in my sleep, I'm not sure if I'm going to wake up to see the next day. So if I can, so maybe the 10th mantra or the 10th practice for us could be mindfully express gratitude that the body is able to do the sasana, that the mind is able to be aware of the breathing, that the mind is able to be aware of the changes in the body, that the intellect is supporting. It's not letting me to go to a cinema hall. It's taking me again and again to a yoga kendra or a yoga session. That itself deserves credit. So if we can interweave this beautiful ingredient of gratitude through the day, then complaints will start reducing and sleep will have autumn. This is in general terms. I'm not talking about conditions or, where, physiologically something is wrong and sleep is not happening. This is for, stress or worry, thinking of a shavasana, thinking of a deep relaxation technique, maybe towards the end of the day. might be helpful to reduce, to get a better sleep, and again, like DRT itself has the potential to get a sleep or to feel the feeling of having had a sleep of 6 hours, or the 20 minutes or whatever we do. So it gives a quality sleep as compared to a quantity sleep. That itself will, again, we can't expect magical results to happen overnight. We need to give yoga that space and that breather, because it might have been our habit to sleep at 1 p.m. when actually the body should have gone to rest or gone to bed at around 10:30, 11. So if this has been our lifestyle, then expecting magical results within some time may be difficult. But yes, definitely as yogis, we understand and we appreciate the joy that yoga brings, and we are very happy to share it with everybody else. So I think
Yes, I think that's one. I mean, the point that which you said, right? Like, try to close the day for the day. Be thankful for good moments and try to move on without emphasizing on the bad moments or negative things. Maybe will definitely help us. I think so one takeaway for very important takeaway for all of us in this competitive, busy world is what I feel. So, Nitaji, thanks for bringing up that question, and I think it gave more insight to all of us on how we can have a better sleep. Pratima ji is asking, I want to hear what is Hatha Yoga from you, Bhagini.
I think there would be better, experienced experts to speak on Hatha Yoga. Sorry, I am not in a position to. Yeah, but maybe if a question is specific, we can dwell around it, or maybe we can open the forum for others also to talk. I'm not sure if that is allowed, but
Sure, I think we will discuss about it. So, Krishna ji is asking how to improve the awareness about yogic lifestyle for healthy life for parents and children.
How to improve awareness. So I think nowadays lot of awareness is already there, and many people, like especially IT people, I feel they go for like 20, 30 years of like full on go-getter kind of a personality, and then by age 40, by age 45, they want to come back, they want to retire to a village or a quieter place and give up all the IT demands and stresses and connect back to nature. I think that's one ingredient which we can think of if we are thinking of a yogic lifestyle, because we are all made of panchabhutas, so as the world. And if I can remember that the air that you breathe is the same air that I breathe, or the tree is the same ingredient as I am. So what is the big difference in that? So why can't I be a little more kinder? Why can't I be a little more gentler? And then when we connect to nature with this bhava, then nature is very, very happy to give us back. So, just a simple thing that Bengaluru, so-called in social media, was suffering through a very great water crisis. But thankfully, around the place where we are living, there is no water crisis. So if I can be thankful to even the water that I get to brush my teeth, or the water that I get to have a bath. So with this attitude of thankfulness, this yogic, and one habit at a time. So if I'm able to wake up at 6, and earlier I was waking up at, let's say, 7 or 8 or 9, and if I can reduce it by half an hour, that would be a credit. And if you can sustain that motivation for a week, 14 days, 21 days, then that will help you to sustain, add on more better things. So that early morning start is a very, very important aspect. And if we want to start early morning, we have to sleep on time. So go back to the proverb,
Yes.
early to bed, early to rise,
Early to
makes
rise.
a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. So we've been reading that in several, in schools, especially in several books also. But if we can remind it and bring it back to implementation, that would be very, very useful.
Great, good insight. Yeah, quickly, Krishna ji is saying 4 steps for happiness. Notice and do things that makes you happy. Make effort to make others around happy. Forget and forgive sad things and feelings. Express gratitude for all the good and bad things of the day. do for 10 days, you will increase your happiness. Definitely all are like important, and yeah, I think we have to follow these as part of our life also. So thank you so much for all the questions, all the compliments. I think we could really delve in and learn a lot of aspects for the day to day. So Lakshmi Bhagini, thank you so much for your time and walking us through all the good concepts and helping and reiterating the importance of day-to-day lifestyle and how yoga can be part of our day-to-day lifestyle. So thank you so much for being the part.
I also want to congratulate few of the yoga bandhus who have made the effort to join this today's session. Probably with only one intention. They want to make the lives of their bhaginis around them comfortable. So hats off to you. Kudos to Subbu Bhaiya also, though I have not personally met. Probably this is one platform where we should definitely acknowledge his pillar support in conducting this whole Kriya and on this topic of empowering women through yoga. So I think we should acknowledge their presence. In fact, without their support, Bhaginis are may not be able to contribute as much. So thank you so much.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much to everyone who's behind on and off the screen, who's helping this session on the occasion of International Day of Yoga be more successful. So Yoga Shakti Sangama 2024, organized by Indian Yoga Association, Kriya, the Karnataka chapter, 32 days, 64 sessions of webinar, 64 yoginis, 64 resource persons. We just heard on the topic yoga away from the mat from Srimati Lakshmi Anandji, and definitely it was insightful. Be with us for more sessions, for gaining more knowledge, and let us all together grow up. Before we wind up, let's do ending. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam nyayena margena mahin mahishaha go brahmanibhya shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu loka samasta sukhino bhavantu loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Thank you so much. Let us keep meeting. Let us keep doing more.